Well, let's go and I'll reconstitute a school. So I took on Wheatley Education Campus, which is in the Trinidad neighborhood, and that summer that I took on Wheatley was the summer that there had been so many murders that they actually had shut the neighborhood down, and the ACLU was protesting, and police were checking people coming in and out of the neighborhood. It was, that's the kind of experience that our kids were living in that neighborhood. People always ask me, is it safe? Well, it's safe for a first grader to walk to school, so it's safe for me to go there, right? It's safe for my teachers to be there. It's a tough neighborhood. The kids are dealing with a lot over there. And so after about 2 years of really hard work, we had really changed the culture of the school. And the culture of the school had been really dysfunctional before we got there. Just poor leadership, not enough care from the adults in our city, and the place had run amok. There was kids constantly in the halls. The achievement levels were abysmal. There was fighting all the time, disrespect. I mean, it's just out of control. And you got to blame the adults in this situation. They just hadn't taken control of the building. And after about 2 years of really hard work, we had the building in a much better place. It was much calmer, it was positive, there was a lot of great things happening for kids, but our achievement levels were still barely bumping up. We were just like, gosh, our kids were so far behind, we were desperate for help. And that's when we reached out to Reading Partners and a couple other organizations, because we needed, I have a great faculty, a great staff, but they just need more help. The kids were so far behind, and kids needed so much individual attention. And if you have a class size of 25, you just can't give that all the time. And one of the things I love about Reading Partners is, for a school perspective, they're a fairly affordable group. They do a great job of training tutors, but for us, it's fairly cost effective to bring them in. And we've really seen our achievement just zoom up because of the amount of attention that kids get. Kids really need attention. They need somebody who's taking an interest in them. They need that one-on-one kind of thing, and my teachers can't give that without the support of the tutors. I'll tell you a little story. One of our fourth graders this year, Everroy, who is a great little guy, but had really struggled reading, and at the beginning of the year, Reading Partners really had him working on his decoding and his fluency, and he picked those skills up right away. And then they moved him into the more difficult reading work of doing some comprehension, and he kind of was stuck. He found it difficult, he found it challenging, and the Reading Partners folks saw that he was stuck, and his classroom teacher saw he was stuck, and they got together the two of them got together along with my reading coach and devised a really individualized plan for Everroy, where he was going to use a story map and some other graphic organizers, and that kind of attention where people are working together. We had 3 adults, just puzzling over Everroy to see what would get him unstuck, really made a difference from him, and that kind of level, individual attention, just made all the difference in the world. To the point where Everroy started to feel so confident about his reading that his teacher was telling me not so long ago that we had a rainy day and they had indoor recess and they can play games or do whatever. Well, Everroy was independent reading. That's what he chose to do as an activity. And he sort of brought all his friends along. He's like, come on, let's all read, and that's what they wanted to do for their independent reading time. And that's not the Everroy that's not where he would have been at the beginning of the year because his confidence was so low. So all that to say is that schools are really desperate for help, and Reading Partners is one of the best organizations out there. And so the fact that you all are supporting them, whether it's giving money or volunteering to be a tutor, makes all the difference in the world. And I would really encourage you all to come visit a school or partner site that Reading Partners is. You all have an open invitation to come to Wheatley anytime you can, because you really need to see firsthand for yourself both the challenges that are out there, but then also all the positive things that are happening, because schools get a lot of bad press. There's a lot of wonderful things happening, and as our host said, it feels good to help kids. It feels good to be around kids. They bring a lot of joy and life to you every single day. So we're really grateful to have Reading Partners in our school, and we're really grateful that you guys are here supporting them as well. Okay? Thanks.